Good morning, this is our second day at Megacon. We're going to be leaving the hotel now, and the main focus is I'm actually going to be going to the artist alley and interviewing them. The three main questions I'll be asking them is, why do they create their art? How did they get started? And what do they want to be known for? So we'll go there now. So we made it to Megacon now. As you can see behind me, there's a ton of people here. It's supposed to be jam-packed. So very excited about that. Like I said, we're going to Artist Alley, so let's go now. So I'm over here with Stefan. I saw his artwork here, and I love this Naruto stuff. It's very, very clean. And so I have a few questions. The first one I want to know is, why did you start creating art?
Why?
Yeah.
It was, you know what? It's funny to say that because all it took was for my favorite artist to be drawn the wrong way. For a comic book, like an X-Men, somebody did Wolverine wrong, and I got upset as a kid. Went to my mother's table, grabbed the line paper, #2 pencil, and I drew him the way that I wanted him done, and from there I just kept going. But
what gave you that eye to see that it was wrong?
That's a good question. I guess from my passion for the X-Men, Wolverine, Spider-Man, so forth. It's kind of like certain people draw it the way that I was introduced to it that I thought was correct, and then they get other artists to do it, and I didn't like the way they did it.
Okay.
So I challenged that.
Okay.
By changing the form of, to do it the way that I want.
Okay.
More detail, more color, more fangs, more claws.
Add your flavor into it.
Yes.
That's nice.
Yes.
How did you get started into it and consistently?
Again, it goes back to comic books and Saturday morning cartoons. Having a passion for it, wanting to be involved directly. The only way that I figured I could make a contribution is to actually sit down and draw some of my favorite characters. And I just kept at it. And then I had a friend that introduced me to color pencils. Art teachers.
Okay.
Art teachers in school too as well, I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's a very good question that you asked, but I got a lot of influence at an early age from art teachers.
Comics and art teachers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Easy. As an artist, what do you want to be known for?
Some of the people I look up to right now today are legends in Europe and here in the United States for a bracket called hyperreal. So that's photorealistic. And for me,
that's what you do?
That's what I do.
Okay.
And I'm still not even at the level that I want to be at. But and again, it's education and communication. That's what does it for me. So I just keep pushing myself.
Okay.
Every time I create a masterpiece, I'll challenge myself the next piece to do it better than my last one.
Easy. And then the last question.
Sure.
What made you decide to create this type of artwork specifically? Is this your main focus, this style?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's more of a photoreal, or in Europe they call it hyperreal. But for me, and it's a human element to it too, because artwork is the one thing that'll bring people together without focusing on things that separate us. So in that case, you may like this character, he may like that character, and I may like another, but I can bring them all together, and then we all sit at the table and either point and talk, and then dialogue.
That's easy. Thank you so much, man. I do appreciate it.
No, I appreciate it as well that you chose me.
Of course. I was shocked when I saw this. I was like, that's super clean, because I don't see this style, actually. And so I'm glad you told me what it was.
And forgive me, I don't know if you guys want this to be a part of the interview, but I'll say this. I didn't see too many minorities on the gallery side. So that challenged me too. I wanted
While growing up or applying here to be?
No, growing up.
Okay.
Growing up, walking through art galleries, you hear about all of the greats, and they come from like Italy, France, and so forth. But I didn't see too many minorities, Cuba, Puerto Rico, so forth. Not that they don't exist, but here in the United States, I didn't see a large influence on minority base. So I wanted to contribute. So I'm like, okay, I can be just as good as Van Gogh. All I need is that shot.
Yeah.
And that's another part of the motivation, if that helps.
That's easy, man. That's part of your why.
Yes, yes. So
that's what drives you. That's awesome.
Questions. Really great questions.
Keep it up, man. I wish you the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much for choosing me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Where are you? We're at Artist Alley. At Artist Alley. So right right here, I'm with Jeff, and as I was walking, I saw this type of artwork here. Can you explain what this is exactly?
It's all wood stain art.
Okay.
Everything I do, take an image, place it on the wood, I finish it with stain, so I don't actually damage the natural wood, I don't lose the wood grain effect.
Okay.
Because that every image has a unique look, even compared to the same exact image.
Yes.
Each piece of wood's different. Sometimes the shading comes out darker or lighter based off the wood I use. Sometimes you get little trippier effects with the wood grain, and sometimes it's further apart. It just every image becomes unique because every piece of wood is unique.
So even if you make two types of artwork, they won't be
look different. One could look darker, lighter, more complex, more simple, just off the wood.
Easy. So I guess my question is, why do you create art?
It's fun, it's relaxing, it's expression, just something different.
Okay.
It's better than being stuck in an office all day.
That's true. How did you get started?
I had a girlfriend who liked Pinterest stuff, and they had some Pinterest article about putting Bible verses with mailbox letters on wood, and she was really, really bad at it, so I kind of helped. And then I was like, I wonder if I can do like shapes. And I was like, I wonder if I can do faces. And I was like, I wonder if I can do really detailed, complex things. And it's been a 4-year learning curve.
Okay, so this is recent too.
Oh yeah.
Most people wouldn't keep on though. What made you experiment and try and
I kept having friends from my day job. They'd see stuff I did in my office. I'd hang stuff up on my office wall. And they go, hey, can you make this for my boyfriend, this for my girlfriend, can you make this for me? And I was like, well, if I can make money, okay, and I'd spend the money to make more stuff for me. And so I kept, I kept making bigger and bigger and crazier pieces. Like, well, I can go waste the money if it doesn't work out, because I made it off a friend. So it's like, whatever. And then I was like, okay, let me start a website, let me start a Facebook, let me start an Etsy. And then I saw the thing for Dallas Fan Expo a couple years ago. I was like, oh, I can get a booth at a con. It's only, it's only a few $100, and I sold out. And now whenever I go to convention, I usually sell out.
Nice.
So it's one of those weird things.
So the intention wasn't even there to like make money off of it.
No, it's just like a hobby. Something like, instead of going online and buying like a print that's mass produced on a website, I was like, I can just make that myself and put a twist on it.
That's nice. As in, would you consider yourself then an artist?
No.
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 Okay.
A novice artist.
Okay, a novice
at most a novice.
Okay, so then what would you consider yourself? Just a novice artist who...
Just a hobbyist. A hobbyist who makes something people like.
That's easy. So what do you want to be known for? Why you're doing this?
Just for making really cool, unique things. Something that if you buy this, you'll probably never find someone else that has one. And even if you do, theirs will look different than yours. I like to use them for autograph boards, centerpieces in people's living rooms, like big giant ones. Someone goes to your place and they see that, it's just like, that's really cool. I've never seen that before.
It pops up.
That's all I want to be known for, something different. There's other things I could do that are more common. I stick away from them. Like people say the easier things to sell, you can do this, you can do that, you sell way more. I'm like, I don't want to do that thing.
Because it's too easy or because?
It's just not unique.
Got it.
It's like wearing a pair of tennis shoes. I don't want the same pair of tennis shoes everyone else has.
Got it. Well, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, good meeting you.
All right, so now I'm with Caleb here, and I saw this type of artwork, and I had to stop. So can you please explain exactly what this is?
Sure, so all of my work is, it's all done in watercolor, sometimes with a little ink, but mostly just watercolor. I like minimalist design, and I like allowing the viewer to be able to take a look at it and bring to their viewing of that piece, like their experiences, their love, their hate, whatever it is for the characters. So it's really about being interpretive. I just bring kind of what is minimal about the character, so like whether it's Star Wars or Disney related, I just try to capture the essence and then allow that to be interpreted by the viewer.
So I guess I would have to ask, why do you create art?
Art for me is a compulsion. It's a way of communicating, and like most artists, I think I've always drawn, I've always sketched, but the biggest difference for me was I didn't stop when other people did. So as I was growing older, I felt like art was a way to communicate and a way to express myself in a way that music couldn't, or in a way that other forms of communication, talking, storytelling couldn't. It's a way to kind of create out of nothing my own little world and share with others. And that to me was like a form of like a magic. So that is carried to this day, you know, that's why I create.
You said that you didn't stop while others did.
Right.
Why is that?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think I just felt like on some level, I felt like this was helping me to make sense of the world and the things around me. and a way to connect with things that were bigger than myself, whether not in some grand spiritual sense, but concepts and ideas and characters that I identified with. I wanted to have the lessons and the stories that they taught with me at all times, and what better way than to redraw them over and over again.
Very true. So how did you get started? I know you started earlier, right?
Yeah, I started drawing when I was just a kid, you know, but my dad was like an amateur watercolor painter. He painted like airplanes and tanks from like World War II, and he used watercolor, and he wasn't trained in it, he just taught himself. So it was, I would watch him and I would just think this was like watching magic happen. Yeah. You know, and so as I got older, you know, he continued to do it. He encouraged my brothers and I and my sisters to work and try to, you know, find ways to draw and paint, and would show us little things here and there. And I just, at one point I decided I wanted more than just messing around with it. I wanted to really
go all in.
So I applied to art school, and I went to school and trained as an illustrator, and watercolor was without a doubt what I wanted to paint in. And so on the flip side, now that I've been doing this outside of school for, you know, 13 years, my father will ask me, he's like, so hey, how do you do this thing with watercolor? How do you paint like this? Because I like this effect you get. And to me, that's like mind-blowing that my dad, who was my art hero, is now asking me how to do stuff. It's weird.
That's amazing.
Awesome.
So you basically made it in that sense.
In that sense, and I've done work for like Star Wars and The Walking Dead and a bunch of stuff that's like his favorite stuff. So he will literally go down like a grocery store aisle and talk to a complete stranger, be like, excuse me, can I tell you that my son works on Star Wars?
Wow.
And he's like, I'm just very so proud of that. And I'm like, Dad, you're embarrassing me. I just came here for bread. You know, let's just get the bread and go home.
Nice.
You know, so.
I love that story. I really do. The story is great. It's really deep. I like that. I guess the last question I would have is, as an artist, what do you want to be known for?
I just want to be known as somebody who, when you look at my work, you feel my passion for the things that I'm painting. I typically only paint things that I know about, that I can speak about. So like all of the different images on my table are characters that I'm intimately acquainted with. I can talk about them, whether it's comics or, like you said, Disney or horror stuff. These are the icons of my childhood and you know, continued childhood as I'm, you know, an adult. But I just want people to know that, or to feel that passion, that excitement that I have for those things.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Of course.
Pleasure.
So now I'm with Pat, and I saw his portrait work, and what really caught my attention is that his art is actually on shirts and cups. So I definitely had to stop by and ask him some questions. So please, let us know a little bit about your art.
Well, I take a drawing, pencil drawing, and then I can sublimate on different products. As you see, like Norman Reedus is actually a friend of mine, and I'll take a picture I drew of Norman, put it on t-shirts, but also on these products such as cups, dog tags, earrings, and other items like that. The fans love it because it's different.
Is that difficult to do?
No, you just got to buy the equipment, and then it takes a trial and error to how to get it right.
Okay.
And I've been doing it for 6 years now.
Okay.
I've done 115 conventions across the country in 6 years. So it's
wow.
I've done New York, San Diego, to Phoenix, and I'm from Dallas, so I just moved here to Florida.
How many conventions have you been in one single year?
One single year, probably, I think I did 38 in 1 year. 38 1 year, and it's across the country from Maine all the way up to California.
That's amazing.
Met a lot of cool people. That's what I really do these for. I mean, you make money, but it's the relationships. You get to meet people and the stories around the country. It's very cool.
Got it. So I guess my question would then have to start, why do you create art?
Actually, I just woke up one day and started drawing. I'd never taken a lesson in my life.
When? When was this?
Probably about 8 years ago.
8 years?
Yeah.
And you're doing this?
Yeah, and I taught myself.
How?
You have to ask other people than myself. I don't know. I just keep drawing and get better and better, and then I ask other artists their techniques, and I don't know, just start developing from when I first started.
You say you woke up and you just went at it.
Well, it's when Dale Earnhardt. I was a NASCAR fan. And
okay.
When Dale Earnhardt passed away, I drew him that weekend. I don't know, something inspired me to draw him. Well, that picture was really good. Now, I still have the original picture.
That was your first art piece?
That was my first art piece, yeah.
Wow.
That's actually when he passed away, and it's like, oh, you need to develop this, and I enjoy drawing anyway. It soothes me. It's one of those things you do to relax, and I draw.
Of all mediums, you chose to draw him.
It's the hardest.
Yeah.
It really is the hardest. And I just do it naturally. You know, it's just fell right into it. Literally fell right into it. And I meet other artists. There's some pencil artists here that are phenomenal. And I ask questions, and hey, we compare notes. You know, I learn from them, they learn from me. It's a community. And it's a very good community. I like it a lot.
After that first drawing, why didn't you just stop? What made you continue?
I'm very entrepreneurial. So it's like, okay, how can I monetize what I'm doing? And maybe it's because I want to work for myself. As you get older, you're going to work for yourself. And that's what I wanted to see what I could do with this. And nobody was actually doing what I'm doing and putting on products because I'd gone.
Oh, so you were doing that in the beginning, like?
Right off the bat. I mean, I dove straight in. But you know, in my day job, I'm an engineer. That's what I do during the day. I did this at night, and then now it's on the weekend. So it's developed to like a full-time job during the day, and I switch personalities, and I'm this at night.
Got it.
And on the weekends, this is what I do to relax. And it's just, I'm two people. I never relax, actually, but I do this. And I get to talk to people like yourself, and other fans come by, and they love what I do.
Yeah.
And so I just
this is super clean.
And I get to meet a lot of celebrities, like Norman Reedus is a friend of mine. I met him 6 years ago.
Got it.
I keep contact with him. A couple celebrities here I've done stuff for personally, you know, at different cons. It's kind of nice to keep in touch with them. And you just keep growing and making friends. And that's what it's all about.
Do you consider yourself more of an engineer or an artist now?
No, artist.
Artist all the way?
Yeah, I've been doing engineering for 30 years. And
So 8 and 30, but still more on the artist.
I hate engineering. It's just one of those that it pays the bills and whatever, but I would do this in a heartbeat and not sleep. I mean, I do this in a heartbeat if I could, you know. Maybe a couple more years and I'll do it full time.
Got it. So, as an artist, what do you want to be known for?
What I do, what I want to be known for is the portraits, but then the products that I make with the portraits. You know, you could do digital art, and there's some phenomenal digital artists here. This is old school. This is where this is going back, and okay, computer, I don't know anything about computer drawing. I want to learn that to emphasize and do things more with my artwork on this, but right now this is where I want to go. Because I know there's very limited pencil artists, you know, that do cons. There's a bunch around the world that I've talked to, but actually doing the cons, there's a little niche.
And you're trying to make this into some type of company, like a pencil art company?
Well, I do have a company. It's Payton Art Studios. And I started doing, I do commissions or whatever. But this right here, I want to be known. That's the brand I'm building.
Got it.
It's the brand I'm building.
Easy.
And then not only the Comic Cons, now it's like the sports, NFL.
You could branch out.
NASCAR, because I'm a licensed NASCAR artist also.
Okay.
So it's doing the drawings of the teams and the drivers, and nobody's doing that either.
It's an opportunity, man.
So you might as well grab it while you can.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Enjoy it.
Thank you. So I'm over here with Edreen, and I saw all of this artwork, and of course I had to stop, especially when I saw the Charmander. So please explain some of your artwork and what you do.
Pokemon and Avatar. I don't know, I just draw things I like usually. So I work in digital, everything for the most part is digital, but I still work in traditional media when I can. Yeah, it's just, I literally only draw things that I enjoy because it's just more fun for me to draw, and hopefully people like it as well. I do a couple like original things as well, like the shirts, my original stuff over there, but those are different things, and people seem to like it sometimes. Yeah.
Got it. So why did you start creating art?
Why didn't? I did.
No, why did you? Why did you create art?
I did quit. I did quit for a long time.
No, why did you create art?
Why do I
Not
create
that you
art?
quit. I want to know that too.
Quit,
Okay.
Why do I create? I don't know. It's just fun. I like drawing cool things. Okay, I'm cheap as hell. So when I'd see something when I was a kid, and I would be cheap, so I'd be, I'd want to post or something. So I'd be like, I'll just draw it myself because that's way cheaper. And it kind of just continued like that until I got older and I got a little better. But I did quit for a while because I had a friend that was way too good at art. I got really discouraged. And I was supposed to be a nurse, but then I started drawing again just for fun, and it kind of snowballed into what it is today. So.
What made you get back into it after you quit?
A friend of mine said he wanted to start drawing again. I was like, that sounds fun. I'll join you. So then we started Instagram accounts, and I was like, let's draw every day and just like see how we can improve. I also wanted to kind of impress my girlfriend at the time.
Okay.
Which to like start drawing portraits and sketches a lot. But other than that, and then I just kept at it, and it became more fun. I got a little bit better here and there.
So you said you started doing it originally for posters, right? How did that come? You wanted to get posters, but instead you drew them, right?
Yeah.
How did that come to your mind in the beginning, to draw it?
I don't know. Like I said, it was just because I was cheap. Family wasn't like super rich or anything, not even close really. Just middle of the road, and my parents were very frugal to a good degree. Like I got some good values from it, but it was just, I didn't ask for a lot and I didn't want to ask for a lot, so if I could draw it or make it myself, then I would. That's how I'd compensate for the lack of money in a sense, and then yeah, so that's how it turned out.
So last question, as an artist, what do you want to be known for?
Just a person. I don't know what that means.
Like, are you trying to, like, do you want to create a comic book? Do you want, is it just on the side?
Yeah.
Like, what do you ultimately long-term want to be known for as an artist?
It's changing all the time, that's the thing. But at the moment, it's like my clothing line and the apparels. So the shirts and stuff are new. Just eventually all my just original stuff, hopefully. Something like a mash between like a Tokidoki streetwear kind of thing. That's the goal for now, but that's not necessarily, I can definitely see myself doing more stuff, very different stuff. Like I love video stuff as well, love animation, so I kind of want to delve into all the different types of art that's possible.
Easy, man. I hope the best for you. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, man.
So there was a Naruto shirt that I saw yesterday. I'm gonna see if they have it in a small or extra small and potentially get it. This is cool. Do you have this in a small or extra small?
Yes.
Okay, can I try on the extra small?
The extra small?
Yes, thank you. Thankfully, I have an undershirt. What do you think about it, Gio? You think it's good? I'm just glad it actually fits. All right, I had to do it. This is such a unique shirt. I'm getting it. Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm here with JaCo. Of course, since I saw this type of artwork, I had to stop. So can you please tell us a little bit more about your art style?
So basically what I like to do is I like to work with the negative space of the composition.
Yes.
So all of my work is abstract. So that's why you see like a lot of the figures that are like halfway done and incomplete. So I kind of let the imagination kind of like run through.
Yes.
And basically your imagination completes the actual piece of art.
Got it. How did you get into this art style specifically?
Well, I always used to go to different Comic Cons, and I usually see a lot of digital work, things like that. And I felt that traditional art was something that was probably declining, and I wanted to do something that had to do with traditional art. You know, something like either pencil or like a charcoal or watercolor or acrylic.
Yeah.
But I felt that watercolor suited the style that I wanted to do. So I started playing around with watercolor, and that's how everything basically went on.
Easy. I have to ask, why do you create art?
Okay, so I will have to say the reason why I create art is because at some point in my life there was a level of distress.
Yes.
And from that point on, I decided, well, you know what? Instead of falling through a path of kind of like, not feeling good about myself, I was like, let me just focus on something else instead of going to a therapist or whatever. So I was like, let me just pick up some brushes, let me pick up some stuff. And I started doing art just to distract myself and keep myself focused on other things that I should have, should be focused on. And, one painting became two, two became 10, and then all of a sudden I had 30 paintings.
Yes.
And I was like, well, maybe I should just put it out there and see what happens. And people started commenting, giving me good feedback. Gave me some suggestions as to why don't you just go to one of these shows and see how people react to it. And that was 3 years ago, and here I am doing shows.
So you've only been doing this for 3 years?
3 years shows, but I've been painting for 5.
Okay. How did you get started?
It's like, I'm an architect.
Because you didn't stop.
No. I learned on my own.
Yeah.
But I'm an architect, so I have like that artistic background.
Okay.
So I have that level of sensitivity to art, and because architects have to draw and create, right?
Yes.
But I was stuck a little bit more in the technical side of architecture, but I wanted to do something more creative.
Easy. My last question is, as an artist, what do you want to be known for?
I want to be known for being different.
Being different.
For being different.
Nice, man.
And someone who thinks outside the box, and someone who thinks that chaotic art could be also art.
True.
Be known for like the splatter artist that actually has that level of aggressiveness to the art that I portray.
I like it, man. It's clean. Best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
so much for your time.
Thank you. All right, so of course I had to stop over here because these are 3D arts. And of course, Ursa. This is definitely the one I'm going to get. The struggle is that it's 1 for 30 or 2 for 40, and I don't really want another one. But I'll see the rest of what they have to offer. This is the one. Absolutely amazing. Giovanni, show them yours.
Hold on, let me put it in the bag.
It has to be side by side. So I know that I'm at a faraway distance, but I had to take advantage of the wireless system that I have. So it is, we're concluding basically Megacon. I really did like it. I mean, one of the highlights was, of course, going to the Artist Alley. And of course, I mean, it's obvious. I loved this Naruto shirt. And wait, the Ursa Scarlet holographic print. So that's about it for today. I'll see you guys soon.